I'm Django Fat with the internet's pineconeattack.com. Just want to basically show you, this is a video walkthrough on how to repair your old Atari paddles. Over time, your Atari paddle gets kind of old and worn out, and you're spinning it back and forth, and it gets jerky, and just you can't control it. Basically, what you're going to have to do is remove the potentiometer inside your controller, and this is the basic walkthrough how. Here's a list of tools you're going to need to replace a potentiometer on an Atari paddle. You're going to need yourself a soldering iron, some solder, a wrench, and a screwdriver, and a solder socket or a solder bulb, whatever. And your brand new potentiometer, which you can find at various stores and craft stores online.
Alright, disassembling a Atari paddle is really not that hard. First you start off with the two screws and just remove them with a screwdriver, nothing special. Real simple, normal screwdriver, it's not real tight. Keep it in a container so it doesn't roll away so you don't lose your two screws. Yep, just like that. And now you just separate the controller, revealing the guts of the paddle. You'll see the potentiometer in the middle and the two wires going in and the orange button. Just flip over the controller and you want to lift up on the knob. It's a little tight, but just lift straight up. Be firm. Alright. So what you really can't see here is a little pin. There we go. Alright, now there's a pin right there. You don't want to lose that because that's like a $3 piece, and without that your knob won't actually stay on. So now grab your wrench. You want to remove the nut that's actually holding the potentiometer in place. Now just adjust your wrench to the nut in a counterclockwise motion. Use your fingers to remove the rest of it. It's real simple and easy to take off, and just put it in your bin. Step 2. The removal and install of the new potentiometer. Take your soldering and apply heat to the pin and use the soldering sucker to remove any solder. Repeat if necessary if you can't remove all the solder at once. Alright, now you take your new potentiometer right here and you want to place it inside the controller. Use the controller as a base. Take your wire and loop it inside the pin and kind of pinch it so it stays more or less in place. Now what you want to do is take your soldering iron and some solder. Heat up the wire and the pin and let the heat of the soldering iron do the job. Let it melt the solder, let it just seep right into it, and gently pull away the heat and let the solder cool. And there you go. Now repeat the same process on the second pin, the middle pin basically. Take the soldering iron, apply the heat, let the solder melt, take the soldering sucker, remove the solder, and now loosen up your wire. Put the new potentiometer, attach the wire, and apply the solder. If you ever get confused and you forget which wire goes where, remember on the old Atari paddles, you can always use the other controller as a schematic because both paddles are actually wired up the same. Step 3. Reassemble your paddle. Alright, now take your brand new potentiometer and attach it and make sure the pins are facing down. Now you just flip it over and put on your new nut and tie it down. Take your wrench and make sure it's snug. Just a quarter turn. There you go. Now secure your wire, press it down in a little groove, and let your button, just reattach your button. It basically just floats inside the controller. So push down the button, get it situated right, put on the backing, press down, test your button out, make sure it's still working and that you're getting that nice spring. Okay, and get your screws and apply the screws onto the back of the controller. Once you're done finishing screwing the controller, take your little clip, apply it onto the peg of the potentiometer. Now take your knob and line up your knob to the peg and press down. Voila, you're done. This is how you change out the potentiometer on an Atari paddle.